Welcome, everyone. I see a lot of new faces on here, and this is our first agency call of the year. So we appreciate everyone kicking off the year right with getting on our Zoom calls. We do 2 of these a week. Tonight and Thursday night at 8:30 is our sales Zoom call. And if you're going to be doing the Teacher Lead program, there's some other Zoom calls that we're going to invite you on. In fact, we're probably going to start our Teacher Lead IUL training call either this week or next week. It'll probably be during the daytime, and we'll have our buddy Pablo run that call. And that should be a good one. Anyway, here we go, 2025. Hopefully you got started with momentum in December. Like I've been preaching, you start the year in December so that you carry the momentum into January. Well, we've got some, big trip planned for this year in 2026 to Thailand. And all the Thailand qualifications are on the ARC website. And so we're all fired up and gearing up for that. It's going to take some really good production, consistent production every month to be able to get that trip, but you'll also get bonus points for coming to our national events. So I'm going to talk more about the national events, but you're going to get huge bonus points. It makes Thailand a lot easier. I think if you go to all 4 events, the first one being National Conference in Dallas, Texas, the 3rd week in January. Is that right, Jenny? Yeah, 3rd weekend in January, Dallas, Texas. I think you'll get 25,000 bonus points. It's something like 200,000, something like that to get to the trip. So you could actually have, I'm just kind of quoting in general, the specific numbers might not, but might be exact. The idea is that if you go to all 4 of the events, you're going to have a huge amount of credit to the trip. So you're not going to have to bust your butt to get the trip. It's going to be a lot easier. So highly recommend that you get out there. Those points are available for those of you especially for those of you that never have attended an event at all. So that's going to be pretty exciting. So we're starting off square one, man, January 2025. And we got some really great things. Excited to be focusing on some really serious ways to get you guys making money. Last year, I think we were kind of lax, maybe. I guess that's probably the best word in enforcing some level of accountability and scrutiny. I've been really one to kind of let you run your life and not really insist that I help you. I'm here to help. And that's really gotten people in a lot of trouble. People making super bad decisions without my input. We've seen it all through the year. And it's one of those things where, I could go hire someone else to replace you, even though you make a bad decision and you don't book me on your calendar to get any kind of counseling. I don't know. This year, I think I might, maybe insist more that you talk to me because, it's one of those things where I see people making disaster decisions on their own. And I'm just sitting there going, oh gosh. And in our staff meetings every week, I ask them, did that person talk to any of you? And typically they say, well, not really. It's like, oh man. And I just feel so bad for them. But at the same time, there's the other part of me. I'm a free market guy, okay? I'm a master's in economics, and I'm a big Uncle Milton Friedman fan, who's a big fan of the free market capitalism. That's why I'm anti-union, I'm anti-tariffs, I'm anti-anything that hoses up the free market system. And I think that's why I'm pro-NIL, I'm pro, free market. And so part of that mentality is you let you motivate you. Let your checkbook motivate you. Let your bank account motivate you. If you're looking for me to motivate you, I am the last person you want motivating you, right? Because I've found out in the past when I try to kick someone's butt, they give me permission to kick their butt. And then I go into Air Force Academy mode and I kick their butts. And guess what? They don't like it. And they've quit. Every single person that gave me permission to kick their butts have quit because they didn't like how I was quote unquote motivating them. So I've been really reticent and just, if you want to make your own mistakes, God bless you. Go ahead. I just will find someone else to help who wants to counsel with me, right? Then there's a kind of that Christian side of me, the charitable side of me that it's like if you were my kid, I would never let you make that bad decision. If you were my kid, you're not my kid, right? So and I don't want to treat you like my kid, but there's that part of me that's like, golly, should I let them? They're going down the road and they know that the bridge is out. Should I stop them from crossing the bridge that's no longer there and they're going to fall into the abyss? So that's the part that just really, I struggle with that. So this year, I think I'm going to lean more towards trying to maybe enforce a little bit of recommendations. How about that? That you check with me before you make any major decisions. Check with my staff that's one of our rules, that you check with us because we've seen it all, mostly. Okay. I'm afraid of saying I've seen it all because, there'll be something that comes up that wow, I've never seen that one before, right? I know you will challenge me on that. So I've seen a lot. And And I want my hindsight to be your foresight. Does that make sense? I want my hindsight to be your foresight. And so check in with me on stuff, on decisions you make, whatever it is. I'll have an opinion, and also tell you that I'm not really versed in that opinion. Like, for example, if people ask me crazy stuff of, Alex, there's this big neighborhood with super expensive houses. Should I hang door knockers on them so, people will call me and create my own leads? Okay, so I always say, go ahead and try it. See if it works. And then they'll inevitably ask me, do you have any examples of door knockers? I'll typically tell them, not really. Just come up with something and then run it by me and I'll give you my opinion. Now, the question they never ask me is, has anyone tried this before? And I will say, yes, many people have tried it before. And then they'll say, well, were they successful? And I'll tell them, not really. So let me tell you why. Again, you have to ask the right questions. Sometimes I'm not going to offer up because I don't want to make it sound like I'm your boss, because I'm not your boss. You're a 1099 contractor. I legally cannot tell you what to do as if you're an employee, right? You're not a W-2 employee, you're a 1099 contractor, so I cannot direct you. But if you ask me the right questions, I'll tell you that I don't know anyone that has sustained their business hanging door knockers in neighborhoods. I haven't. And then the question should, well, how long have you been doing this? About 25 years. In 25 years. And then I can tell that the wheels go in their head going, well, maybe I'll be the first one. And I will not talk you out of it. If you firmly believe that you could do it better than my 25 years of experience, God bless you, man. I mean, do it. Rock and roll. Tell me how it goes, right? But here's the other thing that I know is that if hanging door knockers, those tags or whatever you want to call them, not door knockers, if that was successful, do you think that would be one of the first things we would teach you? Do you think that one of the first things that I would teach you is, okay, go spend $500 at Kinko's to produce 1,000 door hangers. Here is a format that has worked in the past. You hang 100 door hangers, you're going to make 2 sales. So the more door hangers, you're going to make 2 sales. I don't know if that, but for sure, I'd be able to tell you, this is our experience. If door hangers worked, but that's not our experience. Now, again, you may be the first one that has figured it out. And hey, I'll be all fired up. If you kill it, then let us know how to do it. You teach us how to do it. So that's just an example. Mara's got, okay, production requirements to get to Thailand is 400,000. Brand new agents get 125,000 points for NatCon and 50,000 for each event thereafter. So we've got, 125 plus 150. Is that correct, Mary? So that's 275.
I'm sorry. So the new agents for NatCon are getting 125. People that have been around, agents like me who've been around for a couple years, we're getting 50,000 for this event. I don't know what's the next events they're going to give, but that's for NatCon, those numbers.
Okay, gotcha. So for brand new agents, you're going to get 125,000 points. And then existing agents will get 50,000 for attending the Dallas event. Okay, so let's describe what is a point. A point is an issue paid policy premium of our carriers that are participating in the trip, which are most of our mainline carriers. So you write $1 of issue paid premium. So you write $1,000 case, that's 1,000 points towards the trip. Now, 125,000 points for come to Dallas. That's like you writing 125,000 in business premium. That's worth the lead cost to be able to do that. I mean, to come out to Dallas, spend whatever plane ticket and, share a room, hotel room with someone. And then we still have, I think we only have 5 left of our early bird tickets. So we bought, I think they're like $299. I think the price of the ticket to NatCon now has gone up. What is it? $499 now? Does anyone know? Honey,
it's $299 on the website right now.
Oh, it's $299?
$299.
Oh, the early board is $199.
Discounted $100.
$100, and right now it's $299 on the.
Yep.
Okay, so $299. Okay, I thought they would jack it up to $499.
Could be any moment.
Yeah, for right now it's.
I thought it'd be higher now too.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that price will go up. But anyway, like I said, we got $199 tickets available, and to get 125,000 bonus points, I mean that's huge. And then the next trip, the next event in March or April for View from the Edge, you're going to get, who knows, might be another 50,000, 25,000. By the end of the year, you would just have to do just knowledge phenomenal business every month. Rick needs a ticket. So Rick, get a hold of Jenny. Tell her to reserve a ticket for you. Okay, so we got 4 tickets left. I feel like going into auctioneer mode anyway. So please come. Not only are you going to learn stuff, you're going to learn a ton of stuff. The way we're doing National Convention is we're going to have a series of breakout rooms for some periods, and then we'll have like the main stage talks, and then we'll do another breakout session. It's going to be really, really powerful, and I'm really looking forward to it because I need it. Now, Gina will be on stage for a couple things, some panel discussions and stuff like that. But Kristen Weiler needs a ticket too. So Rick and Kristen, so we got 3 left. If I do this, I should have been auctioning these off. Rick, what's your last name, Rick?
Collins.
Collins. Rick Collins. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so please come out. And it's going to be a great time, but it'll really get your mind right and get your 2025 kind of on track. And I think that, we look at the new year, what do they call, what is it? People quit the second week in January, their New Year's resolutions. Oh, I thought you were going to ask me a question. Okay. So I think it's like the second week in January, people quit their New Year's resolutions. I'm not big on New Year's resolutions. Those are, to me, it's kind of automatic failure. I'm all about goals. I'm all about creating daily habits to achieve something. And I think one of the daily habits, I'm going to go over some of this stuff a little bit later to talk about, what it is you and I need to do, meaning, there are goals I need to achieve. So one of the most important things in making this year different than last year is what you do every day has got to be different. If what you do every day is not different, then guess what? You're going to wind up January 2026 in the same financial position that you're in today. Like, raise your hand in your own mind. But how many of you are in the same financial position or worse than you were a year ago? And if you're in a worse position or the same position, chances are you did not change your daily habits, your weekly habits to get you out of where you were. You're kind of on this treadmill because you didn't change what you did every day. Like, simple example, my prayer life has just been through the roof this last year because I implemented daily prayer habits, morning, 3 p.m. and evening and 5:30 p.m. in my schedule that I do consistently every day that I didn't do before. Well, I did some of it before and not very consistently. Now that I've implemented these specific disciplines, my prayer life, spiritual life is way beyond where I've ever thought I could get, right? And there's even more levels to achieve beyond it if you read, some of these great spiritual books on prayer. And I'm after it for that, okay? Those are just an example of a particular goal that I changed in my life that has made profound effect in my spiritual walk. Same thing works in business. Like, if you're still struggling, if you are like living hand to mouth, you have no money for leads, like that's the thing that just kind of cracks me up is like, Alex, I don't have money for leads. Well, sell something to your family and friends. Well, I don't want to call my family and friends because I still want them to invite me to barbecues. It's like, dude, every time I suggest something, you tell me why you can't do it. So why should I waste my breath suggesting something if you keep telling me that you can't do that? Because here's the mentality that will change where you are in 2025 to 2026 is, what can I do more? How can I accomplish what I need to do? What do I need to change? And what am I willing to do to make that change? And it's never, don't go into why you can't do something. Go into how can I make that happen in my life? Because if you can figure out from the positive perspective, I can make that discipline in my life every day. How can I go from making 30 calls a week to 250 calls a week? How can I go from 250 dials to 350, right? Some of these, I used to post the activity reports as far as effort, and I saw such dismal efforts from people that I thought were full-time. It's like I see 35 dials here, 25 dials here. You know how long it takes to do 25 dials? Like 30 minutes, honestly, if you want to be honest. That's when you match the phone and we dial 3 times in a row for each lead. So literally you could get through 30 to 40 dials in an hour, and hopefully you're talking to people, right? The idea is to talk to people. So if your dial count per hour is reduced because you're talking to people, that's the idea. But on average, when you take over the course of a week, you should be averaging 30 to 40 dials an hour with people that you're talking to. And so I know someone's working when I see 300, 400 dials in a week. I know that person's working, and usually that person's the one calling us all the time because they're running into issues, they're booking appointments, they got stuff going on. And that's one thing this year that I'm going to try to pound on it more, is that sometimes new people don't know what effort it takes to make stuff happen. And I get this mentality of, well, let's just see if I do a few more dials, what will happen? If I just do, instead of 20, if I do 30, let's see what happens. Or if I order these leads, I know they told me to to buy the cheaper lead so I got more practice and more shots on goal instead of buying, the 1A lead that's like $60. That's the one mistake that I just like, dude, didn't you ever talk to anybody? Like someone, instead of buying, with $60, they could buy, 30, maybe 20 social media leads, 30 social media leads, whatever, right? But they buy one A lead, direct mail A lead for $60. And they're hoping, oh, I'm going to make a sale. I'm going to make my money back. It's like, oh, dude, no one's ever taught you. You've obviously never seen my video on lead ordering. Out of 10 A leads that you pay $60 for, you probably book 3 or 4 appointments, right? 3 will show up, close 2, something like that. It'll be something like that over time, right? If you're banking on this one lead, well, that one lead could be the one that our top agent couldn't book because that's one of the 10 that they're never going to book. Does that make sense? Like talk about gambling, right? That's serious gambling. That's like putting all your chips on one color and one number in roulette, right? I can't tell you how dumb that is. Because if they ask me, I'll say, dude, how long have you been doing this? Well, about 1 month, 2 months. Okay, let's get you started like how I got started. Let's get you a lot of shots on goal. Let's get your skill level up to where you're starting to get more confident. You start making some sales, let's just ramp you up. But, people want it now. Well, I don't want to go through all those dials, Alex, because I want to make a sale now because I need the money now. It's like, dude, I know, but you got to develop your skill first, right? How can you go out there to do this job when you haven't developed the skill and you're trying to put money down on leads that you can't afford, thinking that you're so good you're going to make a sale? I spent $60 on leads. These leads should close themselves. It's like, dude, no. Leads are based on supply demand. Leads are based on return rates. And you know why agents will spend money on the $60 leads? Because they can close the crap out of them. They're not going to close all of them. They'll close 30% of them, but they're going to make the money on them because they've achieved higher commission rate levels, right? Because they've done this for long enough where they've moved up to, the 85, 90% level where they're going to make their return on investment by closing 30%. And then these agents are smart enough to do referral sales from the sales that they made. So not only do you get 3 or 4 sales out of 10, they do another 2 or 3 on referrals using our ERS referral system. So they're mega profitable, right? That first sale at their commission rate level probably pays for all their leads. Then their second and third sale are pure profit. And then pure profit are the referrals from those 3 sales. See what I'm saying? Does that make sense that, you can't go all in now because you don't have the skill level, right? But, people don't want to ask my advice, right? I'm here for you to book, to give you advice based on my 25 years of experience. And then, no one calls me or no one, asks for it. So like I said, I want to insert myself in the process more, but, that's really more on you. Okay. So anyway, I hope that makes sense. I had a question here. What kind of mistakes do agents make? Major mistakes. Looking for context. Daniel's looking for context. A lot of huge mistakes. Like, for example, I'll have an agent that decides not to go to a conference, right? And then at the conference, this one agent will cover exactly the profitability on leads. And they'll tell you exactly how to strategize running leads and how to ramp yourself up for lead investment to get a maximum return, right? And he just decides not to go to that conference and misses all that, right? And then they ask me, well, how should I get started? I'll recommend how they should get started. When they could have sat in front of the master, like Eric Belair, I think Eric's talking this NatCon on how to run leads, the best way to ramp up if you're brand new, how to get the maximum profitability from them, right? And because you didn't decide to go, you missed it. And it could have been that very talk that would have totally changed your profitability. In other words, you might be profitable 6 months from now, but because you missed that talk, it takes you 6 months instead of takes you 2 weeks. Because what you learn there, you can implement right away. What a mistake. Because the stuff you would have learned, maybe you're profitable in 6 months, maybe you quit because you're frustrated after a month. And you didn't give yourself every opportunity to make this business work for you because the knowledge of the people, like, look, there's a lot of you that won't relate to me, okay? Number 1, I'm old. Number 2, I'm Filipino. So maybe you don't, jive with Filipinos, people with slanty eyes like me, okay? I don't take offense at that. It's just, you don't jive with someone from California. I grew up in California. I live in Ohio. Maybe you, whatever, but maybe you will groove on someone like a Terry Edwards or Mia Fennell. She is amazing. And they have the same racial background as you. Maybe they went to a Kojic church just like you. You know what I'm saying? And you can totally relate to them more than me. And you miss out on a chance to learn from that person at an event or a boot camp. We have regional boot camps. And you miss that opportunity that you could have learned from the people that already walked down the road, but you get blown up by a landmine because you're trying to walk through the minefield by yourself. yourself thinking that you know better what to do when someone's already paved the way for you to walk through the minefield without getting blown up. You just follow what she is doing, right? So that's a huge mistake. I see that mistake all the time because when I see someone complain about the leads, it's like, dude, if you were at the conference 3 weeks ago, you would have totally got your mind right on. Now they don't have money. It's like, dude, the reason why you don't have money is you don't take advantage of opportunities to get your mind right. See, if you continue to walk down the road of mediocrity and stinking thinking, of not trying to get better and improve yourself because you have all these obstacles in your mind, you will never dig yourself out of the hole. Never, ever, ever. You got to change your attitude and mindset that I need to go and I need to figure it out. Sell stuff. Man, back in the day when I was going to conferences, I sold guitars and amps so I can get money to go to conferences. Now I got a house full of 45 guitars, and Ginny's here, so I don't want to really, and I got some boutique amps that'll blow you. Some of you guys guitar players, you know what kind of amps I have like sitting in the closet in a room downstairs. It blow you away. Yeah, blow you away. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much to Ginny's right here because I was willing to give it up before. I was selling stuff, man, just so I can go to conferences and events, right? Guess what? You're in insurance. You got family and friends. You got people that you know. I promise you, people need insurance. You just have to put your name out there. You got to give a call. Hey, has anyone ever reviewed your insurance programs lately? Just got my license, man. I can help you out. We represent 55 companies. Like, don't be too proud, man. Pride cometh before the fall. Don't be too proud to go and sell life insurance to your family and friends. Well, Alex, I came in because of leads. Bro, leads cost money. Like, we got a $4 lead program, social media leads. They're not very high intent, but you pound the dadgum phone, you're going to find people that want to buy insurance. Well, Alex, what do you mean pound the phone? Be willing to dial 700 dials a week. Be willing to just work your butt off. Well, I don't want to dial that much. Are there better leads? Yeah, there's a $15 higher intent social media lead that you have access to. It's got more information on it, that the numbers are validated. They're all TCPA compliant. And those are $15 a lead. You know, so you go $4 or 15. I don't care. Well, are the $15 leads better? I don't know that they're better. I just know that more people will probably respond to you than the $4 lead. In other words, instead of, let's say it took you 500 dials to get sales out of the $4 leads, it might take you 250 dials to get the same number of sales out of the $15 leads. Like, you compress your time, right? Or if you do 500 dials on the higher intent leads, you're going to double your production. It's all algebra. Like, did you flunk algebra in school? What you do on the left side, you get on the right side. What you get on the right side is because what you did on the left side. That equal sign means something. It means something. You do more on the left, it's got to give you more on the right. It is a law, right? So algebra, man. I know I'm going to get into some complex math here. I'm getting sarcastic, sorry. But other mistakes that agents make, not knowing the resources that they have available to them, right? You can't do this on your own, man. Our Zoom calls, being able to book appointments with me, with Joy, our agent mentor, with Mary, with people that know what they're doing, going to boot camps. So we have regional boot camps and hotspot meetings around the country, which you'll find on the ARC. And I'll show you all this stuff. There's so many resources on the ARC that you can take total advantage of. But people don't even explore the ARC because there's so much in it. I know there's so much in it, but it's a treasure trove of valuable information that can help you. Like, when's the last time you cruised through the Alliance University videos? If you have a question on how to run an IU well, man, it's so easy to find that information on Gina Hawk's teaching you how to run an F&G illustration. So easy. We got a ton of stuff on our training website, but the Alliance website is just so rich with content, right? When's the last time you ever dug into it, okay, to figure it out, right? And if you don't know where stuff is, just ask us. We pretty much know where stuff is, okay? But we'll find it together, right? So much opportunity there. Other mistakes, yeah, not counseling enough. Oh, Friday breakout. Eric Belair, how to work a lead to the bone. He's the master. He is the master. I mean, I don't want to reproduce any of his content. You need to come see him. I promise you, being there on the main stage to hear Eric Belair do that talk. I've heard him do this talk before, and he always beefs it up with more stuff. You have got to be there. Just listen to that. That's worth the price of admission. That's worth the plane trip and the hotel room and whatever. It's worth it. I promise you. That's going to be good. Thanks, Mary, for that. Other mistakes, not counseling enough, not reaching upline, taking advantage of the resources, not working. I mean, just general laziness. And it could be laziness, not working based on fear, not being able to overcome your fear. And I do Wednesday, my Spirit and Virtues calls. I'm going to start kicking that off probably this week. And that's a call. What I'm going to do on those calls more is I'm going to focus more on perseverance and how to hang in there using spiritual tools at your disposal so that you can activate, the Holy Spirit's power in you to be able to overcome all the crap in your head. So that's I'm going to orient those meetings more to that. It's optional. You don't have to be on it if you don't believe what I believe. But if you have some inkling that you believe the way that I believe, then you may unlock the key. You might make it easier for yourself. In other words, it's sort of what do they call it in gameplay? The cheat code? Is that what they call it? Or the cheat codes to level up? I don't play video games, but I think those are the terminologies, right? So those of you that are young enough, I'm going to give you the cheat codes on Wednesday night, but not taking advantage of those opportunities. But fear is probably the number one thing. Fear of dialing the phone, fear of frustration, or going through the frustration that it's harder work than you think it is, right? But you got to persevere through the hard work to get to the benefits. I find a lot of people just quit too soon when they can just keep persevering, that they're going to get it to work if they don't quit. It's 100% success rate if you don't quit. You just have to believe it. I've never seen anyone that hung in there long enough that didn't make this business work for them, right? You just have to, hang in there. Now, look, if this is not your calling, if this is not for you, I get it. But you got to give yourself a chance, an honest chance to make it. Well, Alex, I can't afford money for leads. Well, do something on the side to get money for leads. I don't care what it is. I'm not your biggest advisor on what to do to earn more money doing stuff like, work Uber driving at 4:30 in the morning, drive people to the airport, and then Uber drive late evening. And then that gives you opportunity to maybe make some money so you can put money towards leads. You can work during the daytime. Yeah, you're going to be tired, but look, if you want something bad enough, you got to be willing to work for it, no matter what the challenges are, right? I mean, it's called success. Success leaves fingerprints, and the fingerprints are hard work, perseverance, belief, getting around people that are where in life you want to be, changing your association, getting around people. And the books that you're reading is one of the most important things that we teach is book reading. Making sure you're in a positive mental attitude book will teach you skills, will teach you how to handle downtimes in your life, how to persevere, how to get tough, right? There's so many books out there. If you need a book recommendation, just call me, but probably one of the first books you should get is The 8 Steps to Success by Andy Albright. Just go on the ARC, the Alliance bookstore, and order it. It's like $10, $20, whatever. It's cheap, but it's worth it. You got to start there. And then inside that book on page 86, I think, is a list of books that we recommend you reading, from starter books to get your mind right, self-image books to get your self-image right, on up. And you just got to always be in the books. You know what I'm saying? That's probably one of the biggest mistakes, is stunting your personal growth. Do you know that if you don't read books, if you don't read, you're just as effective as someone who's illiterate? How would you like to be equate to someone illiterate, equated to someone illiterate? Again, algebra. If you don't read, you equal an illiterate person, right? Seriously. Oh man. Anyway, I think there's a lot of other mistakes. Not putting money away for taxes, not filing quarterly taxes once you get big enough, all kinds of financial things and then chargebacks, not doing all the right things in the sales process for chargebacks. Chargebacks start creeping up on you. If you get deep enough in chargebacks, you'll never dig yourself out. It's the silent assassin. That's another mistake they just make. It's because, they think they made a sale, but they don't study the sales process that I teach well enough that their chargeback rates are through the roof and their business doesn't stick and they're not profitable. That's a huge mistake agents make. I mean, I can go on and on, but I don't want to, okay?